Hello and welcome to today's matchup between the Emmanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Independence-Gilmanton Indees. Lancers JV won this by 2 at Indy-Gilmanton a few months ago. And here in the rematch, tip won by the Lancers, now tipped around and picked up by the Indees, number 35, Lopez. Down low in the post, tipped and out of bounds, off the Indees, and it's heading back to the Lancers early. Sends it over to Sito. Crosses over to Cornish, back up top to Bauer, and down low to Falkenberg. Up to Zimmerman, thinks about it. Now sends a corner to Cornish, and back up to Zimmerman. To Sito. Takes down low, now cross over to Cornish, too high, and it's heading back to the Indees. Pass corner, sends it down low, Parr. Sends it across, tipped by Sito and out of bounds. That was sent from Shank. And a passing down low coming from Hovey. Sends a corner, tipped and now handled. And back out to Olsen. Driving in, Parr. Travels and it's heading back to the Lancers. Sito up the floor. Looks at Zimmerman, now gets around with a screen from Cornish. Steps out, sends it high to Cornish. Down low to Falkenberg. Has Sito, finds him, now tipped out of bounds. Sito can't handle the pass. And it's heading back to the Indees. Parr up top, got it close by Zimmerman at blue line. Hands it off to Olsen and swings it over. Hovey driving in. Down low, tipped by two Indees, and now handled in the corner. Shank up top, tipped. And saved in the corner by Parr. And he'll take it back up the floor. Sends a deep corner. Lopez around, and back up top to Parr. Gonna pull a quick three. Up and off, and rebounded by Sito. And deep to Zimmerman. He'll send it up to Sito. Sito driving in. Sends it around to Bauer. Looks back out and finds Sito. Over to Cornish. Fakes down lower to Falkenberg. Cross court to Zimmerman for some space. Fakes one over to Sito. Sito out along the blue line. Over to Zimmerman. Down low. Goes through a few players' hands and now picked up by Hovey. Swings it down low. Stolen away by Sito. Cornish gets it. 2-on-2. Over to Sito. Sito with space. And steps on the line on his way out. Pass a bit far. Sito, who couldn't get to it in time, ended up catching it under the basket. Parr back up the floor. Still scoreless. Drives around with the screen. And now going to hand it off to Hovey. Down low. Tipped by Sito and out of bounds. And Rademacher takes a beating. His cousin. Hovey sends it to the corner. Shank trying to drive in. Now swings it back up top. Open three. Lopez going to take it off the side. Tipped and rebounded by Falkenberg. And back out to Zimmerman. Down low to the post to Falkenberg. Fakes and out to Cornish. Jumper. Well off. Rebounded by Sito down low. Now tipped up by Lopez. Sito hits the ground hard. Foul on Sito before the fall. And it'll remain Indy ball. No subs, only one foul and no points with 13:10 left. Swings it down low with some space. Up and off for Hovey. Took it a bit too far in, going too fast. Zimmerman trying to push it. Up to Sito, down low, tipped, picked up by Falkenberg. Takes across. And now deep corner to Zimmerman. With some space, gonna pull it. Corner three. Knocks it down. And the Lancers find their first points of the game. Zimmerman 1 for 1. Sends it over, tipped and handled. And back up top. Parr fakes corner. Trying to drive back in. Now down pass down low. Shank. Back out corner, tip by Sido and out of bounds. Off Sido. And it'll remain Indy ball. Eichstätt going to enter for Bauer. And a pass in down low coming from Harvey. Gets in down low, off a foot, diving on the floor. Sido tips it up to Zimmerman. He'll hold it and take it up the floor. Over to Sido. Has Eichstätt. Over to Zimmerman. Has some space, gonna pull it again. Back-to-back threes! Zimmerman on fire early, and it's a 6-0 game. Harvey met by Sido at blue line. Goes around. Forced to step out and hand off. Olsen drives all the way around and sends it up to Parr. Parr with some space, makes a move! And the foul on Zimmerman. On the floor as Clokey now enters for Sido. And number 21, Ortiz, re-enters as well. Looking high, sends it high, and it's picked up by Harvey. Guard close by Clokey, fakes a three, loses dribble, now sends it down low, tipped and stolen away by Falkenberg. Has Clokey going. Doesn't find him, gets fouled instead. And that is already the third on the game, only the first by the Indees. And Eichstätt will pass it in from the side. Easily into Zimmerman. Zimmerman made 2 consecutive threes on the last 2 possessions. Sends it over to Clokey. Fakes it over to Cornish. Drives in, puts it up, and too hard off the glass. Got hit from behind as Parr now up the floor. Hand off to Harvey. Swings it over. Olsen drives up, goes around, floater, knocks it down. Indies are on the board, and they're within 4. Zimmerman up top. Swings it down low to Falkenberg. Takes a switch and over to Clokey. Clokey jumper. He'll knock it down. And the Lancers back up by 6. Harvey up top. Gets a screen. Cornish gets easily around. Now steps upon him. Drives around. Hands off to Parr. Takes to Olsen and now steps out to blue line. Gets a screen. Has some space. Loses it. Now back out up top. Back over to Parr. Thinks about a deep 3. Now drives around and a foul on Zimmerman. Zimmerman now with 2. Lancers with 3 as Bauer enters for him. Passing down low from Parr. And now some discussion. And now some discussion about Bauer's number. Bauer did play a half of C team. Oh, other 22. It's number 22, Shank. Now some discussion about his eligibility. And now a technical on number 22, Shank. His number was not in the book. That is eligibility for a technical. Eichstätt will shoot 2, and the Lancers will get the ball. Knocks down the first. And it's a 9-2 game. His second will fall as well, as he knocks down their 2 free shots, and they'll get the ball with an 8-point lead, 10-2. Passing to Clokey. Fakes down low and swings it over to Eichstead. Swing it up and over to Cornish. Corner to Clokey. Clokey a 3. Up and off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Bauer. Hit from behind, hits the floor. And back up the floor go the Indees. Lopez, guarded by Eichstead. Hands off up top to Parr. Loses dribble, now gets it back. Drives through, sends it down low. Good switch, up and off. Tipped and rebounded by Eichstead. And over to Clokey. Fakes and sends it down low to Falkenberg with stolen away. Lopez with some space, with numbers, power. Fouls again. Sorry, travels again. And Sido and Bauer now enter for Bauer and Falkenberg. And Eichstead will take it up the floor. And Parr will head to the bench. Sido up top. Over to Eichstead. Down low to Bauer. Over to Cornish. And sent over into the hands of an Indie, who sends it into the wall. And Sido will pass it in down low. Looking high, finds Clokey. Step in and over to Eichstead. Down low on the post to Cornish, over to Sido. He'll step out and send it corner to Cornish. Fake steps up, now trying to go baseline. All the way through, back out. Eichstead, open 3, gonna take it. Up and in! Eichstead from deep! And the Lancers now lead it by 11. Sends it down low. In the post. Fakes, puts it up. Bounces up and out, rebounded down low. Back out up top. Harvey with some space, now goes around, loses it. And a foul on Sido. Eberhardt enters for Cornish, and a timeout by the Indees. And 9:09 remaining, 11-point Lancer lead, 13-2. Back from the timeout, Indees on the pass and down low. Trailing by 11, trying to get the offense going. Pass down low, tipped out of bounds off of Bauer. And it'll remain with the Indees. And they'll pass it in again. Needs an option, sends it up high, and bounces in the hands of Clokey. Clokey trying to push it, slows it back down, hit from behind, and stolen away. 2-on-2, steps out, puts it up anyway. Up and off and rebounded easily by Bauer. Now he's stripped down low, but a foul. That was Lopez who was getting in everywhere. And now the second foul on the Indees as Olsen re-enters. Eichstead pass into Clokey, and he'll take it up the floor. Fakes it over to Eichstead. Swings it around to Eberhardt. Fakes down low, back up to Eichstead. Over to Clokey, fakes down low. John's drive in. Hands off to Eichstead. Over to Cornish. Back up to Eichstead. Swings it to Clokey. Fakes. Looking down low. Now stuck with it and sends it over to Eberhardt. Cross court to Eichstead. Down low in the post to Cornish. Cornish driving in. Far layup, tipped up and off. And rebounded and up the floor to Olsen. Trying to push it. Has some space, steps out. Hands it off, Harvey. Deep corner, Olsen. Driving in. Steps out, and will pass it up to Harvey. Loses dribble, now sends in the post. Tipped and a foul on Clokey. Turner, foul E as Falkenberg enters for Cornish. And Shank will pass it in down low. There's an option, gets in low, wide open, up and off, and rebounded by Falkenberg, who's hit, and gets it out to Clokey. Slow down, bit of one-man press. Sends it across to Eichstead. Around over to the Indy bench. And it's staying with the Indy bench onto the Indy starters. Into the hands of Harvey and up the floor. 7:44 remaining. About halfway through the first half. Lancers have an enormous lead. Indies only 2 points to show for their efforts. Drives all the way in. Harvey up and in. Sorry, that was Olsen. As Lancers call a timeout. 7:32 remaining. Now a 9-point game. Back from timeout, Clokey sends it over to Eberhardt. Drives around corner, passing one to Bauer on the post, spinning, up and in. Good find and a great finish from Bauer, and the Lancers back up by 11. Harvey up top, hands it off corner, sends it up top, and over to Parr. Parr driving in left side, open three, Harvey, they need it, they get it! Harvey from deep, and the Lancers now up by only 8. Like I said, corner to Clokey. Driving in with some space. Fakes, steps out, and over to Falkenberg. Looking down low, now back up to Clokey. Clokey walks in with some space. Down low, pass tipped. Handled by Falkenberg. Back out to Eberhardt, tipped and out of bounds. And it's going back to the Indies. Cornish enters for Clokey. And a pass into Harvey up the floor. Drives around and will hand it off to Turner. Swings it corner, Parr around. Swings it down low. Good find, back out with some space. Drives back around, hands off up top, open three. Olsen rims up and out. And rebounded and out of bounds off the Indies. Nearly had back-to-back. That would have been huge for them. Trying to finally get a stride as Zimmerman, who is 2 for 2 from threes with also 2 fouls, re-enters for Eberhardt. Swings it over to Cornish. Back up to Eberhardt. Corner to Zimmerman. Down low to Falkenberg. Takes a turn around. Now back up to Clokey. Over to Cornish. Up to Eichstead. Down low to Bauer. Bauer steps out and up to Zimmerman. Fakes down low to Falkenberg. Out to Cornish. Cornish jumper. Up and in, and the Lancers up by 10. Parr up top, minute and a half court by Cornish. Swings it over to Harvey. Fake sends it high corner. Parr. Back out, Harvey. Deep to Parr, too far. And it's heading back to the Lancers. Pass into Eichstead. And up the floor goes Zimmerman. Down low, tipped and picked up by Bauer. Driving in, has some space. Now turns around in the post, banks it in. Smooth move from Bauer. And the Lancers up by 12. Parr swings it across. Harvey with some space, swings it over. Open jumper, not going to take it. Steps out and sends it back up top to Harvey. Thinks about a deep three. Now deep to Parr. Parr makes a move. Steps back out. Down low. Again, the open jumper, not going to take it. Sends a deep corner to Shank. Drives around. Bauer hits the floor. No foul. Pass down low. Picked up. Olsen swings it back out. Shank. Cross court. Parr. Open three. Going to take it. And up and off the side. Very anticlimactic as Zimmerman will take it up the floor. Over to Cornish. Down low to Falkenberg. Looking out. Has Cornish. Swings it to Eichstead. Eichstead with space. Goes up middle. Floater. Fouled. And he will head to the line to shoot two. First free throws tonight. Eichstead. Up and off. Did have the two technical free throws. Made both of those. Now 2 for 3 on the night. Trying to find the 20s and a 13-point lead. And he'll make it second. And the Lancers now up by 13. Sends it over to Parr. Stuck with it. Now sends a corner. Back up, tipped. And picked up by Parr, spinning with some space. Picks across. Now down low on the post to Shank. Dribbles in. Back over. Olsen back up top. Harvey across. Too far. And it's heading back to the Lancers. Down on the post, Falkenberg has some space, puts it up. Up and in. Strong move in the paint for Falkenberg. And it's a 15-point game. Pass along the post. Parr turns around, sends it down low, fakes back up and in for Shank. Brings it back down to 13. Indees trying to crawl back a little bit closer. Over to Cornish. Down low to Falkenberg. Spins around. Hand off to Cornish. Bounces and handled and travels before the pass. And it's going back to the Indees. Trying to find a bit of a stride. Looking for double digits and to bring this game to a single-digit lead. Swings across all the way by Cornish. Big momentum swing if he can put this in. He will. And the Lancers up by 15. Up the floor and across the Parr. Indees finally had something going. Cornish turns it right back around. Back up to Parr. Fakes, loses dribble. Hands it off to Harvey. Back over to Parr. Pass down low, high, handled by Shank. Puts it up, and it's fouled by Bauer. Foul on the floor, and it'll be a pass in down low. Passing down low. Back out. Lopez down low to Shank. In the post, hands it off to Olsen, and back up top, tipped. And now a foul on Cornish. And that is the 7th, and Harvey will shoot a 1-and-1. His first will fall. And it's a 14-point game. And his second. Rims up and out, and rebounded by Falkenberg. And out to Clokey. Lance has a commanding 14-point lead. Over to Cornish. Back up to Clokey. Steps in and over to Eichstead. Back up to Clokey. Over to Eichstead. Falkenberg. Looking across. Now going to try to drive in. Stripped down low. Ball on the floor. Picked up by Falkenberg. And stolen away from. Looking deep. Sends it across. Harvey with some space. Steps out. Pass out. Lopez fakes a three. Driving in. Swings it down low. Harvey all alone. He lays it up and in. And it's a 12-point game. Up to Clokey and across the line. Over to Cornish. Fakes down low. Back up to Clokey. Corner in the corner. Swings it all the way across. Pass down low and a foul. The fifth. As they get dangerously close to the bonus. Lancer's already in the bonus as Sido enters for Eichstead. And Sido will pass it in down low. Swings over to Falkenberg. Steps in, puts it up, and too low. Rebounded by Shank. And hands it off to Parr, and up the floor to Harvey. Has deep Lopez. Steps around, and back up to Harvey. Deep across to Ortiz. Down low, high, handled in the corner by Olsen, now stolen away from by Sido. He's hit from behind. Ball on the floor, picked up. Olsen across, Ortiz fakes. Up and off, and rebounded. And a foul on Lopez. Parr and Turner back in. 24-12, 1:38 remaining. Sido up the floor. As three collapse on him, sends it over to Clokey. Drives all the way in with some space, and he is fouled. And Clokey will shoot two at the line. Indy's goal to keep this a one-possession game. Clokey trying to do just the opposite. Up and off the side. Clokey second. Rims up and out, and it's rebounded. And out to Harvey. Has 1:25 to get at least 5 points. Fakes it up top. Down low, cross court, Harvey, three. Up and off the side, tipped and rebounded by Sido. Immediately double teamed, and he'll dribble it out. Drives around. Stripped and stolen away by Harvey. One-on-one with Sido, and Sido fouls. And a one-on-one coming for Harvey. Sido's third, and he will head back to the bench most likely. His first up and out, and rebounded by Bauer. And up to Cornish, under a minute left. Lancers up by 12. Swings it across to Sido, down low Falkenberg. Drives in, and a foul. And that'll put Falkenberg up the line, shooting a one-on-one. All right, Zimmerman enters for Sido. His first up and out, tipped and rebounded down low by Turner. And back up to Harvey. 45 seconds left. A three will burn him in their goal. Parr down low. Swings it across. Harvey fakes down low to Olsen. Olsen jumper. Up and off. Rebounded down low. Shank. Fouled and one. And it's a 10-point game, looking for 9 at the line. And one will fall. And they're within their goal for the first half. Zimmerman up the floor. 35 seconds left. 9-point game. 25-14. Loses his dribble. And drops it out of bounds. Indees have a huge momentum shift here at the end of the half. They can knock down any points here as Eichstätt enters for Zimmerman. As the third time he has gone to the bench this half. Swings it over to Parr. Sends out a little Shank, driving in, sends a corner. Olsen back up top. Harvey, three. Up off the side, rebounded by Bauer. Sends it up deep. Cornish, one-on-one with Harvey. Fouled, up and off. And will shoot you at the line with 17.1 seconds left. Cornish's first to bring it to a 10-point game. His first up and off the back of the rim. Indies remain in their goal for the first half. Trying to keep it within a one-digit game. Up and off, tipped and rebounded by Bauer. And now a foul on Bauer. And two shots coming now on the opposite end. Both teams in the double bonus now. And Shank will shoot two. His first up and out. Zimmerman enters for Clokey. Zimmerman has had a few shots at a last-second shot this year, and most likely get another one here with 16 seconds left. They'll waste it out to the end and take a last-second shot, most likely, as Shank knocks down his second and brings it to an 8-point game. Up to Zimmerman. Lots of time, 14 seconds. Goes around, fakes, and sends it high to Cornish. 8 seconds left. Steps back out, over to Eichstätt, swings it to Zimmerman. Gonna pull a deep three. Up and off the side, tipped. Eichstätt, turn around. Up and off. And they'll head to the locker room. Indies down by only 8 after a very slow start, getting some momentum as they head into the locker room. Back in 5, 8-point game in favor of the Lancers. And we are back and ready for the second half. Zimmerman up the floor to start. Lancers up by 8. 24-16. Over to Cornish. Deep corner to Zimmerman. Swings it back up and around the perimeter. Over to Zimmerman in the corner with some space. Thinks about it. Now back up to Sido. Deep corner to Zimmerman. Now going to take it. Up and off the side. After making his first two, misses last two. Bauer all alone down low. And it's a 10-point game. Zimmerman putting the pressure on, forces a jump ball, regardless staying with the Indies, but now the possession arrow back in the Lancer favor. Up to par. Down low. Lopez thinks it across, Shank down low, lays it up and in. A couple of good passes and an easy bucket on the opposite end. Back to an 8-point game. Sido up top. High to Zimmerman. Takes down low, over to Falkenberg. Back out Sido. Takes about a 3. Now steps around and over to Zimmerman. Cross court to Sido. Sido fakes, driving in, baseline, up and in! And it's back to a 10-point game. Par up top. Fakes and sends it over. Harvey, back across, pass tipped and switched up by Sido. Sends one deep, Cornish high. And a foul from behind. Cornish got up there and mossed him around. Ends up getting fouled as Eichstätt enters for Zimmerman, who is in a bit of pain. Eichstätt on the pass in down low. Gets into Falkenberg. Back up to Sido. Over to Cornish on the corner. Back up to Sido. Up to Eichstätt. Pass on low, blocked away. And picked up by Sido. Fakes and drives. And is fouled again. Eichstätt will pass it in corner. Sends it up high to Sido. Over to Eichstätt. Fakes it around. Corner. Sido. Fake steps in. Now with some space down low. And it's fouled again. And another pass in down low. Eichstätt on the pass in. As Ortiz going to enter for Lopez. Gets into Falkenberg. Back up top to Cornish. And jump ball, staying with the Lancers. Zimmerman going to re-enter for Sido. And he'll send it into Zimmerman. Over to Cornish. Swings it over to Eichstätt. Corner to Zimmerman. Fakes. Steps out to give him some space. Now going to take it and makes him pay. Zimmerman 3 for 5. And it's a 31-18 game. Swings it over. Olsen down low, deep corner. Shank trying to drive in. An offensive foul on Shank. And that is the 4th on Shank and on the team. Zimmerman up the floor again. Fresh off his latest 3. Over to Cornish. Down low, Falkenberg. Up to Eichstätt. Fakes it over to Zimmerman with some space. Going to make it again. Up and off. And rebounded and up the floor. And a timeout by the Indies. 31-18. 13-point Lancer lead with 13:37 remaining. Pass into Parr. And he'll take it across the line. Trailing by 13. Lots of work to do. All the way around. Bounces out. Gonna pull a three. Up and off the side and easily rebounded by Eichstead. And up to Zimmerman. So the corner to Cornish, open three. Thinks about it. Now gonna drive in baseline with some space. Swings it out Eichstead. Gonna pull again. Eichstead rims up and out. And up the floor to Parr. Eichstead now 1 for 2 on the night. Parr makes a move and sends it over. Turner back up to Parr. Driving in, makes a move. Lays it up and in. Parr getting it done down low. And Zimmerman will take it back up the floor. Over to Cornish. Down low to Falkenberg. Back out to Eichstead. Swings it to Zimmerman. Zimmerman fakes. Steps out. Back over to Eichstead. Down low to Bauer. Over to Cornish. Spinning. Too low. Tipped around. And out of bounds off the Indies. Sito enters for Cornish. And Zimmerman will pass it in down low. High to Eichstead and over to Sito. Over to Zimmerman, too high. And going back to the Indies. Lancers putting on some press. Swings it over to Olsen. 1-on-1 with Sito. Sito with those 3 fouls. Drives around all the way through and sends a corner. Ortiz. Turner. Handoff. Back up top to Parr. Parr will set it up. Makes a move. Gets around with some space. Runs into a wall and travels. Pass into Zimmerman up the floor. Over to Sito. Fakes. Down low, Falkenberg. Back out to Sito. Gonna pull a deep 2. Up and off the side and rebounding up the floor to Olsen. Sends it over to Parr. Drives in, steps out, pass down low. Easily stolen by Sito. Pass nowhere near it, Indy. Now sends it up deep to Zimmerman. Makes a move, goes around. Steps out. And jump ball going to the Indies. Eberhardt and Clokey enter for Eichstead and Bauer. Is indeed Indy ball. And Turner will pass it in down low. Sends it over to Olsen. Drives up and around, sends it over. Turner trying to push it. Sends it back across. Olsen with some space. Drives around corner, now loses it. Saved into the hands of Clokey. And up to Zimmerman. Over to Sito. Up to Clokey. Fakes, down low, Eberhardt posts. Up and off, tipped and rebounded. Falkenberg gets the floor. 2-on-2. Ortiz with space. And a charge called on Lopez. And it's going back to the Lancers. Pass in and up the floor goes Zimmerman. Over to Sito. Corner to Clokey. Fakes. And back up to Sito. Down low to Falkenberg. Out to Zimmerman. Takes a 3. Pass down low. Falkenberg in the post. Puts it up and rims up and out. Rebounded down low by Eberhardt. Back up and in. And the Lancers lead it by 15. Parr up top. Drives around, fakes, sends it across. Stolen away by Clokey in the point. And over to Sito. Down low, stripped, and stolen away by Turner. And out to Olsen. And a foul on Clokey. Cornish and Bauer enter for Falkenberg and Sito. And Olsen will pass it in. Gets into Shank. Fakes and drives. Pass down low. Olsen. Double teamed. Dribbles back out and sends up to Parr. Parr sends it up to Shank. Fakes. And over to Turner. Turner drives in. Down low to Olsen. Back up. Harvey thinks about a three. Now drives around. Makes a move inside. Stops. Down low. Too high for Turner. And it's going back to the Lancers. Zimmerman up top. Steps back, fakes down low, and up to Cornish. Back out to Clokey. Fakes to Zimmerman. Down low to Bauer. Down low, Cornish with some space. Up and in! And the Lancers lead it by 17. Sends it high to Olsen. It's got Turner running. 2-on-2 with some space. Bounces up and fouled from behind. Only the second on the Lancers, and then it'll be a pass in down low for Parr. Gets in quickly to Shank. Double teamed and a foul on Bauer. And Shank will shoot two. First up and off. His second off as well. Rebounded by Turner. Now stripped by Eichstead. And up to Cornish. Sends it over to Zimmerman. Fakes it up the floor. Over to Cornish on the corner. Driving in and a travel. Lots of Lancer press. Olsen will pass it in. Sends it deep. Too deep. And it's picked up by Eichstead. And back over to Zimmerman. Oh, spin moves. Has an open three. Gonna take it. And up and out. Rebounded back up. And Bauer is fouled. Zimmerman now 3 for 7 as Bauer heads to the line. His first up and out. His second out as well. Tipped and rebounded by Shank. And sends it deep to Olsen. Olsen pushing the corner. Steps out and sends it up to Harvey. Back over to Olsen. Olsen steps, drives in. Back out and over to Parr. Down low, Shank. And fouled before the shots. And that is the 4th team foul on the Lancers. And Bauer's 3rd. And the passing down low coming from Parr. Sends it up high to Harvey. Gonna pull a quick three. Up and off the front of the rim. Tipped and rebounded by Shank. Now tipped out in the hands of Cornish. Cornish, he's got the speed. He's got the space. Lays it up and in. And the Lancers lead it by 17. Sends it high. Tipped. Handled. Harvey. Cornish comes up fast. Makes a move. Spinning around. Zimmerman. Harvey steps back out. Sends it cross court to Parr. Tipped and handled. Now gonna drive in. Fakes it over to Harvey. Back up. Parr. 3. Up and off the side, rebounded by Shank. And a foul down low. And that was Zimmerman's fourth or third, possibly four. Nope, gonna go on Bauer. And that is indeed Bauer's fourth as Falkenberg enters for him. Bar on the pass in, down low. Turner fouled on the shot by Eberhardt. And Turner will head to the line. Turner's first up and out. Sito and Bauer enter for Eberhardt and Eichstead. And Lopez in for Olsen. Turner's second. Up and off the side. Rebounded by Falkenberg. And into the hands of Cornish. Going to go fast. High to Zimmerman. We'll slow it down. Drives in baseline. Fakes down low. Falkenberg. And the post. Up and off the side. Rebounded by Bauer. Tipped around. Ball on the floor. Picked up by Shank. He's got a 1-on-4. Wisely steps out. Has some space to the three-point line. Sends in a little Lopez who's coming in fast. Up and off the side. Tipped and rebounded down low by Turner. Now stolen away by Sito. And a travel on Sito. Wait, no. Travel on the Indees. High to Cornish. They go fast. Steps out and up to Zimmerman. Down low. Falkenberg. Gonna drive in now, and it's fouled. And a 1-and-1 coming for Zimmerman. Falkenberg. As the swing from C team, Pfeiffer gonna enter for Zimmerman. And also no re-enter for Harvey. Falkenberg's first 1-and-1 will fall, and it's an 18-point game. And he'll knock down his second as well. Gets it in quickly. Olsen. Stuffed in the corner. Tries back opposite side. Sends it up. Turner. Going on Pfeiffer. And a foul on Pfeiffer. Knocks down his first, Turner. His second 1-and-1. Up and out, tipped and rebounded by Sito. And up across the line. Sends it deep to Cornish. Back up to Sito, swings it to Pfeiffer. Fakes down low. Now double teamed. And picked up by Sito. Sito swarmed. And Sito will head to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Sito's first will fall. His second up and out, rebounded by Shank and hands it off to Olsen. Olsen going fast. Steps out, changes direction and sends it corner to Shank. Down low, swatted away by Falkenberg. Sends the pie, stolen away by Falkenberg. And he'll hand it off to Sito. Pfeiffer. Kicks down low. Back up to Cito. Over to Cornish. On down low in the post and tipped out of bounds off the Indies. Harvey enters for Turner. Yep, Turner. And we'll pass it in to Cornish on the corner. Fakes it up to Pfeiffer. Down low to Falkenberg. Steps in, floater, up and in. And the Lancers up by 21. Harvey around and a foul on Cornish. First 1-1, up and in. The second one out, tipped and rebounded by Pfeiffer. And over to Cito. Down low to Falkenberg. Steps in, down low. Bauer, tipped out of bounds. And it's going to the Indies. Zimmerman enters for Pfeiffer. Pressel back off. Lancers a firm lead with 6 minutes left. Swings it across. Parr back over to Harvey. Steps up to a three. Air balls. Shank. And a foul on Cito. Cito saw the shot go up and tried to box out. Shank knew he was going to miss and just stomped on top of him. By rule, that's a foul on Cito as Bauer enters for his brother. And Shank will shoot a 1-1. The final one. First will fall. His second air balls. And it'll be Lancer passing down low. Quickly into Zimmerman and up the floor. Down low to Falkenberg. Back out Eichstead, or Cornish, sorry. Gonna pull a three, up and off the side. And rebounded by Lopez. Quickly to Parr. Sends one deep, tipped by Falkenberg, and stolen away by Falkenberg. Getting up there as Cito takes it back up the floor for the Lancers. Drives around corner. Cornish fakes a three. Back up to Cito. Swings it to Zimmerman. Down low, Falkenberg steps in. Fouled and one! Falkenberg having himself a night as the Lancers back up by 21. And Falkenberg will shoot his and one. Knocks it down, and the Lancers up by 22 as Eichstead enters for him. Harvey across to Parr. Back down low to Turner. Back up to Parr. Fakes it, and he'll hand off to Harvey. Thinks about a three, now steps in. Swings it down low off a foot, picked up by Cito, and over to Zimmerman. Makes a move, goes around. Back up top to Cito, over to Eichstead. Down low, Eberhardt in the post. Swings over to Bauer. Bauer puts it up and gets it off the glass. Lancers up by 24. Deep across the line, hands off from top. Olsen three, up and off the side. Rebounded by Cito. Up to Zimmerman, and he'll take it up. Trapped in the corner, and a timeout by the Lancers. 47-23, 24-point Lancer lead with 4:42 left. He's got space. Lays it up and in, and the Lancers up by 26. Lancers having themselves a game as Indees forced to call timeout. 51-25. Lancers double +1. Indy ball. Pass in from Parr. Sends it in corner. Lopez, high, handled by Olsen, now deep corner. And now down low in the post to Turner. Back out to Olsen. Olsen drives, hands off to Turner, back up top. Harvey fakes. Down low Olsen, turn around, too far. Lopez, back up and in. And it's a 24-point game. Quickly to Zimmerman. Up to Eichstead. Drives around. Fakes and up to Everhart. Has Zimmerman open. Missing off the pass and was going to clean three. Now steps up and around and back up to Eichstead. Lancers trying to bleed the clock. They've got a huge lead. Steps out and up to Zimmerman. And he is fouled. And Zimmerman will shoot. 2. Both teams now in the double bonus. As Lang and Bauer gonna enter. Zimmerman's first will fall. Bauer enters for his brother, and Lang will enter for Zimmerman following his second free throw. Knocks it down. Lang in for Zimmerman. No, Eichstead? Not sure why I didn't enter before. But Zimmerman will remain in the game. Eichstead will head to the bench. Lancers up by 26. Sends it corner. Olsen. Back up. Harvey. Gonna pull. And knocks it down. Makes it a 23-point game. Sido up and around. Lots of space. Now bounces out. Sends it over to Lang. Up to Bauer. Back up to Sido. Fakes, now drives in. Down low, Eberhard tipped and out of bounds. Going back to the Indies. Number 10 and 25, Franczynski and Parr will both enter. Olsen up top. Fakes around. Hands off up top to Dillman. Down low, tipped and... Jump ball staying with the Indies. Falkenberg enters. Nope, Falkenberg and Bauer will head to the locker room. Pass in quickly to Franczynski. Sends it over, tipped and stolen by Sido. Toe touches the line and now goes around baseline up the floor. Over to Eberhardt. Fakes. Drives around with some space. Floater. Knocks it down. Eberhardt with 4 and the Lancers up by 25. Turner up top. Hands off. Ortiz deep through, or deep 2. Up and off. Rebounded down low. Back up and a foul. And Barrios will head to the line to shoot 2. First up and in. Lopez will enter for Turner. The second up and out. Rebounded by Bauer and up to Sido. Over to Pfeiffer. Corner to Eberhardt. Back up to Pfeiffer. Has some space. Sends it over to Sido. Over to Eberhardt. Fakes in cross court to Sido. Fakes down low. He'll step out. Up to Pfeiffer. Fakes down low. Now finds Bauer. Tipped and picked up by Pfeiffer himself. Steps around and in over to Lang. Lang down low to Bauer. Bauer turn around. Up and off. Swatted away by Eberhardt. And into the hands of an Indy. Going fast, makes a move, charge, going the opposite way. And initially called it a charge. And now they're gonna send it to a blocking foul. Sido is fouled out, and Quaid will enter for him. And Barrios will shoot 2 more. His first up and out. His second up and out as well. Tipped and rebounded by Bauer. And up to Pfeiffer. Under a minute left. Lancers with a huge 24-point lead. Just got to waste out the clock for the next minute. Up to Pfeiffer. Over to Quaid. All of these people played on C team. Not all at the same time, as Eberhardt drives in, steps out, and back up to Pfeiffer, tipped, and picked away by Franczynski. Steps out, pass over, floater, blocked by Quaid, picked up by Quaid, and back up the floor. We'll slow it down, now with 33 seconds left. Over to Pfeiffer. Takes down low. Now to Lang. Through his legs. Ball on the floor and a foul. And Barrios going to shoot 2 more. First one banks up and in. A 23-point game. Second up and off. Lane violation going back to the Lancers. Last time they'll have the ball, might just run out the clock here. Up by 23. 20 seconds left. Pfeiffer up the floor. Over to Eberhardt. Takes it up to Pfeiffer. Over to Quaid. Down low. Ball on the floor. Picked up by Bauer. Up and in. And the Lancers now up by 25. 5 seconds left. Barrios, 4, 3, over. Mishandled, not picked up. Buzzer beater. Up and off the front of the rim. And that'll do it. 57-32. 25-point Lancer win. After C-Team loses 35-16. Varsity will follow in 15 minutes. Band starting in 2. Lancers trying to break a 2-game losing streak after going perfect 11-0. Are now 11-2, trying to sweep the series against the Indies. Beat them in the first game by about 40. Lancers win it. Varsity next.